everybody. Welcome to another episode of the OoOoh here in Humboldt County, California, featuring me, Pete Nelson, and my cohort,
Jesse Cass.
The OoOoh is it's a fun show where we talk about different ideas, comedy, and what else, Jesse?
Concepts. Rules. We're doing a thing on values.
We've been covering values lately. So what we've been doing is picking out different stuff off the list of values. We've been tracking local events too, right?
Yep, and we've been rating weed.
Yep, we've been doing that. What happened today? Wasn't there like some crazy something went on today?
Oh, all kinds of things went on in the
You remember that?
political spectrum.
What's the key news article you're talking about, Jesse?
Trump getting revenge on the people that that prosecuted him by firing them all today.
Who is your favorite staffer of those that were let go, and why?
Oh, they're all my heroes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which one's your favorite though, out of all of them?
Probably the head of the Department of Justice.
Yeah, what was their name?
Not that I thought I would ever say that in my life.
What was this person's name?
I don't know what their name is, to be honest.
No way.
I just found out about this a little while ago.
Yeah?
I haven't had time to look up names and find out who's who.
On the news? Did you consume the news, the mainstream media news today?
I perused the news on my phone, which means Apple-friendly news.
Apple-friendly news. That sounds like a horse's news source, you know, Apple-friendly news.
Could be. I don't speak for the horses.
Yeah. No, I think a lot of my friends are they're all tripping out, you know. I have a lot of friends on both sides of the political spectrum, and they're freaking out at each other, and I think that's a problem because that's noise. I mean, we need to get stuff done in politics, but like the problem is when we have noise, you know, where it's like, okay, cool, we can hate each other, but what's our actual solution out of these kinds of things? And you know, I don't know exactly how to get people to pay attention to the unity that we could have outside of political parties as a nation. You know, that's a problem for me. What do you think, Jesse?
I think we've been working on that problem probably since the 60s, maybe even the 50s, and we haven't figured it out yet. But I'm not saying not to keep trying, but it's just, I don't know, figuring out what's going wrong and fixing it.
Yeah, I gotta fix the video next stream because I look like the Silver Surfer right now.
Well, what do you know, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, what? It's this adversity that people face. It's this adversity that people have in their lives, that we all share, and then it's what we do about our adversity. You know, sometimes our adversity comes in the form of how protected we are with our lives leading up to where we are, and then we find ourselves in a world where we can make change. Other times, the change that needs to happen in the world is us just being able to rest and breathe and have a decent life just for 2 seconds, you know?
I think that's the problem is, so a lot of people voted for our current president just because they were frustrated with politics in general, and then some policies of the Democrats, and they just felt like they had nowhere else to go. So I think we need to get out of the situations where people are feeling that frustrated with how politics goes. And unfortunately, I think that's going to mean pretty radical change. And people aren't, like, ready. They're afraid of radical change.
Yeah.
I mean, so many places you could go with that, like opening up the political process for more than 2 parties, you know? Give the other parties legitimate standing with the 2 current major parties, and, you know, maybe changing how figuring out if we really need a president, and then if we decide we do, how we elect that person.
Well, I mean, like, we're at that point where we got these next 4 years in front of us, regardless of what anyone wants. And I think that, yeah, what you're saying, we can do that. But I think that the most change we can make for the people we care about is to be able to operate inside of this current presidential term under these different things. I don't know. Like, we have to be able to operate around what we need or what's happening around us. You know.
I don't.
I don't think I'm
I
being
don't think
clear.
it's possible.
Well,
If I understand what you're saying, I mean that's why I think it's going to take pretty serious radical change. And
yeah, but you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that over the next 4 years.
oh,
You're gonna have a little bit more of a heavy hand when it comes to resisting what the government wants, and I think that like it's really the problem is that both parties sort of handle they handle what our population needs greedily. They don't give us what we need, and then they tell us to deal with it. But I think that there's too much of a great example with the genocide in Palestine.
well, I'm a deep believer in history, and so I've pretty well studied history, and it has come to my understanding that there are periods of time in between large wars, but we always end up going back to a World War I, a World War II, and I think it has to do with a whole range of things, and I think we need to focus on the next 4 years as all the examples of what we don't want. And then maybe people will be pissed off enough and disgruntled enough and feel the need for change a lot more than they do at this particular moment. I think a lot of people took the easy way out this last election. I really do, and
Like how?
they don't want to. They don't want a candidate that's going to stand up for, doing the changes that need to happen.
I think that everyone's paying so much attention to Trump because they're trying to like take the attention away from what the Democratic Party did to their what do you call that? Their constituency. This past election, and maybe even the election before that too. I feel like the Democratic Party really kind of screwed their constituency, and then like that. If you were to be a Democrat during those times, it's just like so tough to justify continuing.
But why are these people being forced to choose? I don't, to be honest with you, like the Democrats any more than I like the Republicans. I'm pissed off because those are the two that I seem to have to choose between.
Well,
so if we use the next 4 years to get good and pissed off about that, maybe we'll do something about creating other parties that people can, feel good about voting for. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to digest what you were saying.
Why do these people that I've read about, who's basically said, I
can't vote for a genocide, and
I voted for Trump because I didn't see any other option.
But then I can't vote for I can't vote. I can't vote for anyone.
Well, that's the other reason why we need to get out of a two-party system, because maybe one of those things is we're tired about how policy is decided worldwide. So how the United States treats for it, maybe we don't need to be giving Israel billions of dollars in aid.
My problem, what the thing is my problem with being able to actually come up with a solid political stance is the fact of, if I really take a stance on anything or a lot of different parts of politics, there's all these hooks and traps that can make anyone can prove me wrong, anyone can prove me right. Anyone can make the argument keep continuing. It's this endless loop of us or them every time. And so it's I do want to talk more about very specific political issues that are going on, but You know what? There's about like 300 different writers for each political party that are going to have way more eloquent language that reinforces a lot of stuff, that stereotypes or rhetoric that is like made to take on if I do have a stance on politics. There's all these different things people can just levy on me, and I think that's the problem, is the fact that I can't take a stance without people needing to dogpile. And I think dogpiling is just...
So who gives a fuck about them?
Well, I'm just
That's
saying
a
it's
fucking
like...
personal opinion. Should mean nothing to you.
I think that being affiliated with political parties is the way to not get any political action done. Because they keep deceiving us. Most of the time I see our political parties deceiving us, but then...
Because they know they can deceive you, because they know that sooner or later you're going to come back to them.
But then it's us or them, so it's like the second you're like, hey, you deceived me, I don't like you guys. It's like, oh, so you're voting for the other party then you are our enemy and everything is wrong with you, you know? And even if those whatever rhetorical statements get said about anyone who is for or against either political side, it's just such a roped in thing with people who have so many... It doesn't get anything done. So these people, they think that they're protecting themselves by caring about a political party, but the thing is, all they're doing is like attacking the other side. The other side's attacking them. But then, you know what I want to do is take a third direction, not have a third party.
That's what I'm saying.
But when I want to help people, I go and I just help them directly.
That's what I'm saying, is there needs to be more options. If say I'm a Republican, right, and I'm running for office, now I know that half the people out there are probably Democrats and aren't going to really care about what I have to say or any of my, because all my stuff's probably going to be channeled to me by the major Republican Party. But I don't care if they don't, because I know even if I don't get elected this time, at least a third of those people are going to get pissed off with how the Democrats handle it and will come over to my side. However, if there was an independent party, if there was a Green Party, if there was such and such a party, so more people could have their wants and needs addressed, then that's going to be different. I can feel better about picking a side because the system is geared more to giving me an option that I can feel good about supporting. When you have only two options, that you're either for or against because you have no choice.
They call it a party and then they don't even invite me, man.
Yeah, well, they don't even have a band or,
I have to change what my face looks like. This is driving me crazy. Keep talking.
So, I don't know what exactly you want me to keep talking about.
I don't know.
I made my position pretty clear.
Make it unclear again.
Like,
now that it's clear, make it unclear.
Yabba dabba do, people. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem. If we keep going the way we're going with the options we've got and the way the two parties operate, we're just going to continue being unhappy and not wanting to pick a side. So, my favorite term when I was growing up was shit or get off the pot. You can't have it both ways.
I thought that was a marijuana thing, for the longest time until someone told me. I still look like the Silver Surfer.
I mean, I don't know how else to put it.
No. All right, Jesse.
You make it, that's why you choose the lesser of two evils most of the time. That's pretty much what these Trumpers are saying, is we're voting for Trump because we see that as the lesser of two evils, or, the thing that makes sense the most right now.
I think that a lot of motivation for political championeering has to do with judgment, and it's like if you have a stance in one way or in another way, my value that I have in this situation is to pass judgment either for or against you.
You do.
And I don't think that dynamic is really a dynamic that works. It doesn't work, and it's made to keep us fighting each other. I don't know.
You do that every day. Every time you meet somebody new, you judge them. You decide whether you want to be friends with them or not.
All right, Judge Jesse.
So,
Judge Jesse with his gavel.
I mean, like, that can be taken too far, you know. I think that a perfect example is, I think Republicans don't spend enough, and I think Democrats spend too much. So where is this middle ground where we can find,
No, okay. Man, I just totally had a great response in my head that I was going to levy at you. No, okay, fine. You know what I've been trying to do? You know what I've been trying to do is, like, not say anything, like, non-committal on this, like...
Why? Because you're afraid people will judge you for it?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about, the judging. You know, okay,
I'm
so
telling
people...
you, the freest you'll ever feel in your whole entire life is when you quit worrying about what other people think of you.
If I don't care what people think about me at all, or if I or if I judge other people, I don't know. You know what judging is? Judging is a breach of, like, the four agreements a lot of the time, in the way that you're saying it to me. Because when I judge, I'm making an assumption about another person. But unless I'm gonna, like, hop inside their head and know their life experience and feel and be them with their thoughts.
But
I can't make a presumptuous generalization about another person in that way.
I think there's two levels of judging. I think some of judgment comes just right out of the back end of your brain. It's not something you necessarily control. You just got a feeling like, I'm not going to like this person. And then there's the frontal lobe judging, where you're actually making a conscientious decision that you're going to judge this person. Like, I like the way she drinks her coffee, So I just...
Why would you like the way someone drinks their coffee?
Because she probably has sexy lips. I don't know. Just using it as an example.
You heard it.
See, you're judging me.
I don't know. I don't know if we're judging or understanding you. Alright. One of the segments we've been doing here is we've been discussing values. We just discussed some values right now. We figured out that I'm completely non-committal and unwilling to have any sort of stances on anything aside from, why can't everyone just get along?
And I'm too opinionated about taking your...
Too
willing to take.
I've never actually
on
signed up for everyone's things that they want to dump on me either,
Good.
All right.
Keep that up.
Jesse.
What?
Our first value of the day.
Would be...
authenticity.
Well,
To be authentic, genuine, real, or true to myself. Are you a genuine person? You're allowed to not be.
Definition of genuine.
I don't know. You a real motherfucker?
I hope I'm a real motherfucker. But that's more something that... I haven't got a lot of feedback from others on that subject. I think it's more important what other people in that category think of you than what you think you are.
Yeah. I've been trying to be more genuine lately. There's a few times where I was, like, going, or I would, like, sleep all week, sleep a bunch and play video games. And then I would go and do stuff, and then it would be, like, very clear. It's like, what are you doing? And I'd be like, I don't know. It's like, you're not doing anything with your life. Do you have any sort of identity whatsoever? I'd be like, no, it's just,
Sometimes you gotta take a break, even if it's from life.
That would be, that's what I would be doing, but if I do it too long, I start losing character and identity and authenticity, But what's fun? I don't know. Who isn't authentic is lazy people, because they cut corners. They say that they're something, but then they aren't actually that. They just say that to get you to think that they are, or they create such low goals for themselves that it doesn't actually, accomplish.
God bless the underachievers.
Yeah.
You just about defined me right in that sentence. And yet here I am doing this podcast.
Yeah.
I will be lazy if given a chance.
I wonder
but I'll also do shit.
We got to get you an extensive resume and radio, and then hand you off to another radio network. Be like, dude, he's been in radio for 22 years. And it's like, all right, here we go. And then they get you, and they're like, all right, so what's your show? And you're like, what do you mean? What's my show? I just talk. I'm on the radio. They're like, well, what did you talk about at your last show? It's like, values. I'm pretty genuine. I know that. They're like, please give us any better answers than you're giving us.
Well, genuine, is that the same as speaking one's mind?
That's true. I've talked to a few of my friends. They are like, a few of my friends are, authenticity is what we're talking about. Oh, a few of my friends, they, I totally
Ladies and
forget.
gentlemen, I think now's the time to
As soon as I stop trying to remember it,
smoking.
yeah. I talked to a few of my friends, and they have different tough times going through stuff, and I talked to them about how to be authentic with themselves, and like a lot of the time when you don't have identity to yourself, it shows in other ways, and we feel like depressed or
Really?
yeah, or like we hurt ourselves more when we don't give ourselves like character and identity, and if we're stuck not doing too much to establish our authenticity, then we lose it, because all we're doing is like, let's say that we just put all of our time into recreation. It's hard to say though. All sorts of recreation are good, but let's say doom scrolling. If I doom scroll too much, I'll stop having anything important to contribute to conversation. I'll just be regurgitating memes, and then that's good. That is really good, actually. A lot of the time, sometimes it even works. So this is a bad example, but
You gotta quit drinking that kratom, dude.
yeah.
I would have nothing better than to sit around, I would like equally as much to sit around my place watching TV all day and smoking a fatty every now and again, as much as I would enjoy coming out and kicking it with you in the smoke lounge and coming up here and doing a podcast.
You would rather
I'm okay
also
either
just do
way.
nothing. That's just weird. What if you got super famous? No, you're being authentic.
Well,
that's a good example of authenticity. Jesse is authentically dismissive of any opportunity in life. Authentically, that's good. That you have an identity.
I'd like to say right now that Pete has a really bad habit of speaking for me on what I like and don't like. Do not necessarily take that as gospel.
I would. Authenticity.
Although he is partially right.
So I've been working on being authentic myself. It's been important to me. I've been, when I'm not authentic with myself, it does get really weird, right? Because it's like, why am I even here then? And then, do you think that if people just don't believe in themselves enough, that they do just disappear from existence and you never see them? Because they're just they just don't believe that they exist, that it's like poof.
Oh, I don't know about that, but there's certainly people who, I was saying that, once you fuck up to a certain extent, you fall off my planet. You cease to exist to me. You proving yourself totally unworthy to be in my world and of no use whatsoever to the prosperity of my world and the people in it. So you just literally cease to exist. I will not talk to you. I will not interact with you. You've given me no reason to believe that benefits me and society in any way. And I have met people that has happened to.
Yeah.
How's that for authentic?
No, that's authentic. I think so.
What are brutally authentic then?
I think what we just kind of put together is that authenticity is how we create boundaries with other people and with ourselves.
Yes, I think that's a great way of defining it. I don't understand these people that want to hang out with serial killers. It's like,
I'm sure they have some.
What the hell do you get out of that authentic relationship?
That's not that bad. That was a good ending to authenticity, I think.
Okay.
Right? Boundaries with other people and ourselves create our authenticity. How well we stick to those, right?
I like those.
I'm gonna enjoy doing this one. Number 5, beauty. To appreciate, create, nurture, cultivate beauty in myself, others, and environment, etc. I like
There
beauty.
are so many ways to define what you just said.
Yeah, well, the word is beauty. That is the value. I do value beauty. You know what I've been valuing a lot beauty-wise is feng shui and artwork. I used to think artwork, not like good artwork, but I used to think that general, like decorative artwork was the biggest waste of time, and I hated it. I would see like little pictures of flowers in a kitchen that were just like printed at Kmart and be like, this is dumb. And they used resources for this that we didn't need to use. Like, what is going on then if the world... Because when I was a kid, my teachers used to be like, the world is dying, the world is dying, save water, save electricity, everything's running out and we're all going to die. You know, and then I would see that they would be making this Kmart artwork too, and I'd be like, wait, how can Kmart get away with wasting all of our resources, but then also, and I was like so young, and I you know what, they try to impress upon us so many different good habits when we're kids, that like, I'm not surprised everyone is so damn anxious all the time. You know, I feel like all these habits that they wanted us to get as kids, they really forced them all upon us. So many of them. You know, I heard one of my teachers say in 7th or 8th grade, I think it was 8th grade, one of my teachers was like, he had the whole classroom paying great attention. Everyone loved him. And he's like, hey guys, let's talk about logic for a little bit, right? Like, let's talk about logic. I wanted to see whether you guys say yes or no to certain things, right? It's like, all right, so if generally in society you think if a woman smacks a guy, it's kind of like no big deal, but like if a guy smacks a girl, that's kind of not right, right? And then like the girls in the classroom, some of the guys, you know, as a spread, raise their hand. They're like, yeah, a man should never set a hand on a woman. Oh yeah, well the girl was wrong. She shouldn't smack a guy. And then a couple of the girls were like, no, a girl can smack a guy. That's normal. That's what all the girls in my family do, you know. But the teacher was like, all right, so like, shouldn't if a girl can hit a guy should be able to hit her back, or if a guy hits a girl should be able to hit him back, right? Because people are equal, right?
You want a little bit of authenticity?
Well, and then like the whole classroom just erupted.
No. Anybody who lays a hand on me is getting a hand laid back on them. I don't care what the fuck your gender, color, race, creed, religion is. You hit me,
what if,
you're getting hit.
What if I have like a certain status in society and I hit you? Like, what if I'm the president and I smack you, but then I'm like, hey, let's go and hit the limo and get some drinks after, though, but I have to be able to smack you Chris Rock, Will Smith style.
No.
You wouldn't sell out?
Nope.
I would sell out. I think I'm going to sell out before, like, give me anything right now. Anything. Give me it. I want it. I'm going to sell out. That's what beauty is. That's what beauty is, the beauty of the sale, right? Give me your stuff.
You know, there's so many different definitions of beauty, I can't say that's the wrong one.
I just hope our resources aren't running out. Like I really hope that, like, it keeps raining. For one.
You're going to get your wish this Thursday.
Yeah, it's going to rain Thursday?
That's what they're saying.
You're not a psychic.
No, but I have a TV in
the
my
weatherman's
motel.
The weatherman's been wrong before, and we trust the weatherman. The meteorologist. That's a nice.
Trust in the man.
A nice gender-neutral term. Meteorologist.
The man.
Weather person.
Down with the man.
Because when they say weatherman, it's implied that they are making mistakes, right?
Well, there's more one. You're a little young, but there's another interpretation. There was another group called the Weathermen. Long time ago. They used to blow up buildings, government buildings.
No way, really?
Really.
That was the thing?
That was an actual thing.
And they were like...
back in the 90s when you were born, they were finally giving themselves up and doing the... Well, they got lucky because the FBI did a bunch of illegal shit when they were investigating them. So they couldn't throw all the charges at them that they wanted to. And they got off easy and just went and turned themselves in and did their time, and now they're giving speeches and lectures. But yeah, back in the 60s.
Wait. Did you just say someone who blew up a building now gives lectures?
Yes.
No. That's you can't. No, that's not.
Well,
that's,
it's important to say that no one ever died in their explosions.
What?
They would give 15 minutes warning so that nobody died in any of their explosions, except for the weathermen. There was one where a bomb went off prematurely and killed a bunch of them, but nobody, no civilians or government employees died in any of their bombings.
And they had no idea what the weather was going to be at all?
No, they were just trying to get America out of Vietnam.
Weather or not? Okay. We'll research that for next episode. That's not how beauty is a value, though, Jesse. Stay focused.
Not necessarily true. I'm sure
it's
they
not
thought it was beautiful what they were doing.
Oh, Jesus.
And I do believe that a good, properly well done explosion can be a thing of beauty.
Moving on. Let's see what our next one. Beauty is valuable to me. And okay, so I don't know how we got to where you got it, but beauty is to appreciate, create, nurture, or cultivate beauty in myself, others, and my environment. So you're just, yeah, you took that way. Have you ever worn eyeliner or lipstick ever for any reason? When was it? What were you doing?
Probably.
What was his name?
High school drama class.
High school drama class.
There was some makeup put on.
And what part did you play?
I think it was actually Radar O'Reilly at MASH.
Oh. Tell us more. It was Radar O'Reilly.
Oh, I borrowed a khaki, military clothes from this other guy at school, and then they got stolen. And his dad was pissed.
Did you steal them?
No.
I don't believe you.
Nope, they were in the school locker, and somebody broke in and stole them. A bunch of stuff.
Jesse, you're a crazy person.
I am definitely certifiably insane.
Alright, values. Our next value, Jesse, can you read it? It's number 6.
Caring. To be caring towards myself, others, the environment, etc., etc., etc.
Alright, Jesse, tell us all about how you care about people.
I don't.
No, I mean, that's the subject, right?
Oh, I'm faking it, huh?
No, I mean, who do you care about? One person at least.
Oh, I care about.
What does it feel like when you feel love?
None yet. But,
Wait, so do you get, like, goosebumps?
no.
Do you feel like, I mean, your heart probably always feels like you're in love, huh? Because it's like got like a pacemaker and shit, and it's like.
Well, it's probably because it's beating at 1 million beats a minute.
What happens? So it doesn't feel good when something bad is happening, right? It only feels bad when bad things are happening with your heart, right?
I think. I mean, what's your definition of bad? Like non-functional?
Like sometimes I feel like my heart flutters, but I'm not like looking at someone I have a crush on and it just flutters, and I'm just like chilling out doing nothing and it'll flutter, and I'm just like, oh, is that bad? Like, is that just my heart acting up doing stuff?
Bad times, and then they're like scary times when it's just like
mine happens.
I'm not gonna die, but I shouldn't feel like this.
Yeah.
I mean, none of it's fun, that's for sure.
Can I have your pacemaker if you don't need it anymore?
Sure.
Can I just come and take it?
I don't.
They should put a zipper on you.
It's just going to be a
just
bag
pop
of
that
skin
bad
at
boy
that
out.
point.
I should be able to step like right next to it and have it go and pops right out, and I grab it and bring it to the pawn shop. Plug it into my car for a better alternator.
You would too, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Not like you would hang it over the rearview mirror so you can remember me by. No, you'll hook it up to the car so it'll drive better.
Dude, I would hook you up to the power grid if it meant I saved $20 on my PG&E bill.
I am so coming back to haunt you.
Yeah.
I am so coming back to haunt you. I don't care if I have to make a deal with the devil. I am coming back and haunting your ass. And you have no idea.
Did I tell you about how I'm scared of the dark?
Oh, that's good to know.
And then there's all these different, like, I'm scared to be alone at night, too.
I'm just going to steal your stash all the time. I could have sworn I had a freaking pound in the closet.
No, my mustache.
It's not there.
Dude.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Caring is leaving me your pacemaker in your will.
Osmodeus thinks not human.
Caring is telling your neighbor that their wife looks great.
Osmodeus says caring is not obliterating your planet.
Caring is when you return that wallet you stole from me. Do it. Give it to me. Care!
Oh,
I've lost like 7 wallets. I feel like people keep finding my wallet and just not giving it back to me.
Oh, I just throw your handmade wallets away when I find them. I take the money, but I throw the rest of it away.
I had the nicest wallet this one time.
Yeah, what was that?
It was like a black leather wallet and it just like wasn't there one day. I'm not used to wallets, man. They don't work for me.
I wasn't for a while, but I'm really liking the one I got now. It all zippers up so I can't lose anything.
You got a George Costanza wallet?
You know what? Now that you mention it, I think I do have a George Costanza wallet.
I think I remember that being the scenario. And then you lost your wallet and I was so happy for you.
Well, I said it the one I've had. You were with me when I bought it. It was at Shotzi's at the mall.
Oh. Alright, if you owned any car, what car would it be? And explain why that is the value of caring.
A 1950s, 40s or 50s Rolls Royce. Because I think they just looked elegantly awesome.
And that would be you caring?
Yes, that would be self-care, caring for myself.
I care so much. Everyone's like, can you please donate that money to the food bank? We're in a crisis. You're like, 1 Rolls Royce from the 50s, please. And they're like, here you go. It doesn't run. You're just like, that was all of my money.
Charge people to take rides and then give that money to the food bank. And I still have my Rolls Royce.
It used to be a Royce, but then I rolled it.
Did you know that in World War II, almost all the British aircraft were flown by Rolls-Royce engines?
Yes.
The P-51 Mustang, the greatest fighter plane of the Second World War, so they say, had a Rolls-Royce engine in it.
You gotta start every powerful thing with the letter P.
Puck you.
Peter. Powerful.
Peter. Puck
Power.
you.
Pete. You're looking at the screen though. Look at the screen.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, it works both ways.
Wait, where's it?
Where'd you go? All right, Peter's easily entertained, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Caring, Jesse, tell me more. What's, no. You know what, Jesse? We can't just go and ask people for their time and then not have, like, a good story. Like, open up for the world, think about something that might even make you uncomfortable, and then just be like, you know what? Caring, to me, is like an example of this scenario.
Caring to me is making sure that the needs of the 3 people that are closest to you are taken care of, whether they can afford to do it or not. For instance, there's somebody very important in my life whose cat just was dying. And she didn't want that cat to suffer, but she didn't have the money to put it down because vets are expensive. I think it was like $148 just for the vet to show up before he even did anything. So I had a little extra money, so I sent her the money. She feels much better about the whole situation, considering she lost a cat she was extremely fond of. That's caring, in my interpretation.
I think it's pretty weird that how often cats crawl into your lap and then we still use the term putting it down. It's like, dude, you put down your cat every single day. How many lives does it have?
Do you hear yourself when you talk?
We're gonna get a studio cat. It's just gonna like stay in the studio at all times and never be let out.
Yeah, the studio will reek of cat pee.
It's an indoor cat, but it's like a really indoor cat. Very indoors. It doesn't even know what a sky or an ocean is. If you showed it water, it would freak the hell out.
This part of the OoOoh does not condone cruelty to animals.
Yeah, it doesn't. Hey, while we have a second, we're working on getting a rescript for this, but all views expressed by the OoOoh, myself, Jesse, and the Humboldt Barnacle are that of the artists, and for all we know, fictitious, for the sake of art and joking, and not even our actual own opinions. Do contact us with your opinions. We would love to hear them. Do contact us. Let us know what's up. We would love to even have you on the show.
Where can they contact us,
I
Pete?
would love to hear people's opinion where they might disagree with anything I say, because Lord knows I'm not perfect. And
I encourage you to disagree with what I say.
I think caring, is understanding that we're not perfect. I think that's a good way to care for other people, is to know.
And I totally encourage you to just totally dismiss anything Pete says.
Yeah. Definitely dismiss what I say. So definitely hit us up on Instagram at Humboldt Barnacle, Facebook at The Humboldt Barnacle, and so many more different ways you can come to our shows. I have a show this Wednesday at the Wave Lounge at the Blue Lake Casino, 7 p.m. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be I'll be there.
At the Blue Lake Casino at 7 p.m.?
At the Wave Lounge at Blue Lake Casino,
At the Wave Lounge at Blue Lake Casino at 7 p.m.
If you haven't seen me performing lately, I'm actually really good, and you gotta see it.
Oh, yeah. He's really good, and you should go see it.
Hey, any local bands trying to book, hit me up. I need some spots filled out for local bands. What? We got, February 28th, 29th. The last day of February, we have a comedy competition going on here at the Crisp Lounge. 2029 Broadway, Eureka, California, downstairs from the studio here. Not in this same exact place, but come on out. Come and win.
Hilariously funny.
You can win Best Humboldt Comedian, as said by me. It's said by me. Well, actually, it's the crowd who votes. I just host it. I should try and win my own competition once in a while, right?
Could say, but I don't want the pressure.
Yeah. After that, there's more shows. Oh, come and check out comedy open mics Sundays and Wednesdays at 6 at the Crisp, and then Thursdays at 7 at the Arcata Vets Hall. Those are weekly events. Also, I do karaoke Sundays and Wednesdays here at the Crisp at 7. Come and check that out. Nightly smoke sessions over there. California sober lifestyle. I can't even tell if you're awake right now, Jesse.
Huh? What? Who, me?
I think we could wrap this up. This wasn't even like a planned episode. We were just trying to get some more stuff out there.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. Jesse, share some wisdom. What do people need to do with their lives?
What do you need to do with your life? Smoke a ton of weed. Be as kind as you are humanly capable of being to others. And that's variable. And, you caught me with that one.
And then repeat. So do
Repeat.
those two things and then do them again. Guys, thank you for sticking around. Don't forget, you can always slip me a 20. Until next episode, my name's Pete Nelson.
I'm Jesse Katz.
And you've been listening to The OoOoh.
Be kind to pets.
Listen this time. Yeah, there we go. Wait for it. Oh, there we go. Oh. It didn't record again?